Hello, Hunter. Do you seek untold power? Power before never seen. The power to kill your enemies while they sleep. What the hell is going on? Well, join me then as we unlock the potential.
Hello everyone, so welcome to a video I've been wanting to make for 6 months, but more on that later. I think it might well be fair to say the single most satisfying moment in Monster Hunter is a wake-up hit with a true charge. Knowing there is no single greater hit by a fair margin in the entire rest of the game. It is magical. And look, you might not like Greatsword, and that's completely fair enough. Okay? Everyone is entitled to be a fucking heretic if they want. So I thought long ago, why not construct a playstyle, a set that's all about the sleep hit? Get that monster snoozing, and then give him one hell of a bruising. You'll need to do it 2-3 times, and then he's dead. Easy, safe, effective. But the catch was, it's best done with a Kulve Taroth weapon. And the thing is, I've spent a lot of time in the caverns of El Dorado. And in the 6 months since it has been obtainable, I've never obtained it!
This is why we're here. Unobtainium.
So, a while ago I made a alright version of it with the Radoban trash sword, but it's not the best. Oh, not that close. So, you can still, if you don't have the Kulve one, substitute Radoban in, but your mileage is gonna vary. So now then, finally, after so long, after that's a lie, after giving up hope, it happened. Golden sleepy glory be mine! Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. So, I know what you're all thinking. Let's talk shop then. The build itself kinda, well, builds itself. You have a simple priority list you need to meet, and you do that in a way that's most comfortable for you and gives you the leftover skills to suit your playstyle. But your basic mandatory requirements, assuming the Kulve sword, is level 3 free elements, so you actually have access to, the sleep, 100% affinity, so your sleep hits, well, always crit, and if you are on console, you can actually pull this off with Gamazor and get crit status, which we'll get to, but it's very tasty. And then you want level 3 crit boost, because that is a huge increase, and then you want to handicraft just to edge into white sharpness. You don't need hits to spare, because every hit that isn't the sleep hit is just to put it to sleep, not for the damage, and once it does fall asleep, you just sharpen and you're good to go. Oh, and after that, of course, you want as much attack as you can possibly cram it in there, and then really, any skills you feel like you need to really enjoy this. So for me, I've gone for a very cookie cutter version, and it works really quite nicely. Now, I have got a lot of expert jewels, which I'm very thankful for, and they've given me the full 7 critical eye. That's the 30% there. Your weakness exploit gives you the 50%, and then you've got a little bit of maximum might to make up that 100% coming in from the charm. It's nice and tidy and exact, and honestly, it makes me very happy to look at. Kulve Taroth Waste is almost just made for this, with 1 free element and 1 handicraft. It is perfect. So an extra handicraft jewel, and that is sorted. It is admittedly a little bit of an expensive set, but you know, the gimmicky ones tend to be. And then we've got the critical boost and the weakness exploit finished off using the remaining slots. Valhazak turned out kind of the best way, at least for me, because you do grab a little bit of extra peak performance, so you just heal up before the hits, and you get a little bit more raw. Technically, if you would like to fit in some sleep attack, which is totally viable and probably needed if you plan on taking this to multiplayer, you drop 2 experts, you put in 2 sleep, and instead of an attack augment that I have on my weapon just for maximum boom, you put in a crit augment just to make it back up to 100%. And that really is all she wrote. You can also take 3 expert out, put in your 3 health boost, swap the attack augment to affinity again, end up on 95%, which is still plenty, and then you've got a safer version. Again, you tailor it to suit what you need to live your best life, as long as you have the minimum to make the whole concept tick. Your Palico is a big deal here, so let me break down why.
You're gonna wanna go to your Palico and say, here you go, give this barn ball a go, so you can help me with the feat of chain sleep. Either way, go on and give this a spin. And please try and throw me a little tiny bone, cause my rapping's already gonna mean I die alone.
So for those of you that I haven't lost there, it really does help. It builds the sleep a lot faster, and as I kind of alluded to in that awful display of sheer whiteness, the Wrath of Meow applies faster, the Coral Horn, if you get lucky with an attack buff, well, you can imagine the kind of damage that deals. An extra 15% is huge. And that really is your setup. If you are wanting to do this on console, if you have the weapon there, which I don't, you can get away with this configuration, which lets you bring in crit status, but largely you're trying to achieve the same goals and the same outcome. So, talking of goals then, how actually do you go about functioning this? Items and playstyle and, you know, the nitty-gritty.
Gotcha, bitch!
This is the basic flow. So since we're going to be hitting a monster in its weak spot for massive damage, well, we want massive damage. You're always wanna gonna be. I'm gonna leave that in! How did... Mouth, are you okay? You always want to be getting that attack up large from our lovely Meowscular friend, and you're going to be wanting to bring a steroid loadout. Your Might Siege, your Demon Powder, your Demon Drug if you're really feeling fancy. And then what I like is that this really does give a fine use to the Might Pill, which normally isn't great. It's like 20 seconds of, yeah, really decent plus 25 raw, but it lasts us a short amount of time. But it's more than enough time to absolutely add a ton of damage to a hit that scales as high as a Greatsword Wake Up. So you head out and you wait for your unsuspecting prey, and for the most part you fight normally. You lack focus, so you gotta be a tad more careful. You also want to favour shoulder barging, well, first defensively as you wait for that sleep, but also to go into the jumping White Slash because it does have bonus status and element damage. So you get your sleep aided by your cat, and you have a little checklist. Sharpen your weapon. You want white sharpness, of course, that's 12% more damage over blue. You want to fully heal up because there's a smidge of peak performance, and then you line up the hit. You have your Might Pill, and then, well, you let fly. Once you have that done and dusted, you put on your Apothecary to make what would be the harder sleep easier than the first, and, well, repeat the process. And honestly, not a single monster I fought didn't limp away after the second sleep hit, and then most died to the third, so take that as you will. Honestly, it's really refreshing to use a Greatsword with a status, and to enable it to do what I believe to be the most fun aspect of the weapon as the core principle for bringing down your quarry. It really is a whole other world that I feel like a lot of people are quick to dismiss when it comes to this weapon. And while you're not going to be doing any speedruns in this, it's certainly quick. The most it took me to kill really anything I tried was around the 4-minute mark, and it's quite a secure build because you're shoulder tackling a lot, you get the little sleep breaks, you can play it at a slower pace and then make up the damage with these thunderous blows. So I really would recommend it if you find yourself having a hungering for something just a little bit off the beaten path. So that is about that. Thank you very much for watching. Like if you've enjoyed it and subscribe for more. I shall see you next time. And
Rage Gaming with the video float.
But that's all that's really relevant at the mo, but I'm still gonna leave this up so you patrons know that I love you even though the outro's no longer that kinda relevant. But the new one's being worked on and it's gonna be a truly badass song, and don't worry, I won't be doing any rapping on it. I'm gonna go now. This was shit.